Alright guys, welcome back to another one. I am the Gold Standard, and today we are doing Bonney versus Enel, how to beat Enel. This matchup is actually very favorable for Bonney, especially if you know a couple tricks. I have divided this video up into the same two parts as I usually do, which are like my general rules or strategy that I follow when going up into a match with Enel, and then the following will be opening hands and different lines of play and how to use them. So let's jump right in guys and talk about Enel. Rule number one is to let them dictate the pace. And so what do I mean by that? Well, Enel players will either starve you out because they're trying to build up your life for a Gedatsu, or later in the game when they start Katakuriing and putting your stuff back into life so that they can use Yamatos. So in the early game, if they are starving you out, you have to attack them, because you can't give them enough life so that they can Yamato out some of your big cards. Because if you start with 5 and they have 4, if you just start by starving them, immediately if you drop Zoro, they can Yamato it out. And so if they starve you first, you have to swing. But the opposite is true if they're attacking you. Because if they attack into Bonney, what I always do is I starve them back. Because what they eventually have to do, their only removal card in their deck is Raigo. And when they play Raigo, what it does is it, yes, removes one of your cards. So say you get a Zoro down, or maybe a 10 drop, or even your Rosie, but they'll remove it. And then if they have 4 life, it trashes those 3 life cards all the way down to 1. And you don't have to do anything, and they don't get those cards. So this is what I mean by early on, let them dictate the pace. If they attack you, starve them back. And if they starve you, you have to attack them. Rule number 2 with Bonney, and this is basically my rule pretty much with every character against Bonney, is you have to focus on the board. What they're going to be doing early on is playing things like Gedatsu or maybe even Rush Enels or something like that. And basically whatever they put down in that mid game, you have to rest and then attack into. And the way I do it, I will usually put down cards that they want to remove, like Cavendish or potentially even X-Ray, maybe even Yarouge. And it gives them a target so that they have to play something like Gedatsu or whatever. And then you can swing into Gedatsu the turn after. So yeah guys, mid game, I like to give them targets and I like to force them to attack things. And finally, rule number 3, and this is like the late game kind of end game rule, which is after you've been really focusing on board, or maybe even like locking them down with Dofi, you want to make sure that when you go for game, you can swing at least 1 extra swing and sometimes 2 extra swings. Because Enel is notorious for getting super lucky life triggers off of their life, and in particular it's this one. Because if this is their last life card, they'll get another life and you'll have to attack them 2 more times. So be aware of how many attacks you need to get through to finish the game against Enel, because it's usually more than you think. So yeah guys, those are my 3 rules that I typically follow when I go into an Enel match. Let's go into the opening hands so you can see what I'm thinking there. But before we get into the opening hands guys, if you wouldn't mind, please like, sub, all that does help the channel, and it really lets me know whether you guys like the content or not and what to change in the future. So yeah, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching guys. Cool, let's talk about some of your opening hands that you want to see. So the number 1 things I like to see in my hand against Enel are either a Zoro, 10-drop Dofi, or several of them, Basil Hawkins, and sometimes Hody. So the reason I like Zoro, obviously, is you get the triple swing at the end, and that's the best way to finish Enel. But also, you can pivot, and so if they get a life card that gives them more life and you know you're not going to finish them, with Zoro, you can pivot your attacks into board. If you need to, I think Zoro is the best way to change your strategy end game. Obviously, Dofi just keeps things locked down, and especially late game when they've, dropped maybe aces, Yamatos, even Enels, and you just start locking them down. If you have multiple Dofis, you can really whittle away at their life and their hands, because you can attack into board and sometimes draw out some counter. You can attack into life and slowly get them to the point where you can finish the game. So those 2 are big ones. Basil Hawkins, I think, is huge in this matchup, and it's because Basil cannot be removed by Yamato. Because as soon as they try and drop Yamato to remove Basil, you just rest the Yamato. And so if you can get Basil down, the only thing that they can really do is Raigo it when they have all their characters rested. And so again, Basil, as always with all matchups in removal meta, is absolutely clutch. Hody Jones, as always, I'd say this every time, but he's just the best 7-drop. He is great for finishing matches against Enel if they happen to have blockers, or if you need to just rest something and attack into the board. Sometimes I'll use him to rest characters that they're saving, because sometimes they'll do that and save them for late game because they don't want me to clear their board. And so I'll swing in with my Hody and rest everything. Finally, like an honorable mention is the Kid Rosie combo, because they can't KO Kid with Rygo outright, and so they have to do something to remove Rosie first and then use Rygo on Kid if they want to go that route, like that removal route. And so, like I said, it's an honorable mention. It's not necessarily guaranteed to work against Enel, but it does have some effect. And finally, guys, I'm positive that a lot of people aren't thinking this or using it, but I play with this Monkey D. Luffy in here, and I play with it because of the Lucci matchup, because it's kind of hard to remove when you get the Rosie into Luffy. Like, they have to be playing the 6-drop Brook. But if you drop Luffy on Enel when they're using Rush Enels, a lot of times, and I almost guarantee it, most of the time they'll forget that Enel is deactivated when Luffy is on the field, like, because no one's playing this really. And so if you have this down and they're using Enel, I almost guarantee that if you swing into one of their Enels, they'll just take it thinking that they're going to use their leader, or that they're going to use their Enel ability, and you'll just remove it outright. Yeah, guys, so those are my main cards that I'm looking for and how to use them. So guys, I've included 2 gameplays with this. The first gameplay is a more recent one where, you know, I've got the process a little more dialed in with Enel. And the second game is actually one that I lose, but I want you to see why I lose it at the end, because I don't follow basically 2 of my rules, which are clear the board as much as possible and have more attacks ready. So yeah, take a look at the gameplays, guys. Otherwise, I think that they're very helpful. Yeah, thanks for watching, and let's get into it. All right, we are in it with Enel, and man, I really want this hand just because of Basil, but everything else in here seems not useful. Okay, I can work with this. I could definitely work with this. So, Zoro is a great card on Enel because you can get those massive swings in at the end. What would I search for right now? I could get the 10 drop. I could get... do I want to? Nah. I'm going to wait a turn just so that I can draw out an attack potentially. He doesn't attack. Okay, so he is using the starve method, guys. So that can be a real pain because he can just start, you know, Gadatsuing things like Cavendish. He can Yamato out some of our big drops. So we pretty much have to take life from him. So I'm going to search. Do I want a 2K or a blocker? I'll take the blocker for now. And we'll swing 7 on his life because I don't want him to be... Like, basically now it's going to be a late game thing, so, you know, we'll just have to see what he gets to. He drops Rygo in there. Bold strat, my friend, ditching Rygo into the trash like that. Alright. Yeah, because, like, now unfortunately we have to attack into him a little bit. Like, if Enel attacks us early on, I kind of just leave him alone until we get... some of our bigger stuff down, and that's just because, like, do we even want to get any of this down right now? I guess I could Cav and then Cav again, just so that he has something he has to attack. Yeah, we'll do this, because I can Cav again on the next turn, assuming he takes this, yeah. So yeah, maybe he Gadatsu's again. We'll just have to see. Ah, this one. I'm surprised he's playing the Saba. That's interesting. Cool. I mean, good for him. So we'll play this into this. We could even potentially get down... do I want to get... The thing is, I want to get a Zoro down next turn because... I'm worried he's going to Rygo or something. Well, I mean, if we have a Zoro and then we just triple swing on him, like, I'm fine with that too. So let's go here first into here. And presumably he has to attack at this with one of these. So I'm going to leave that there because we might be able to, like, lure an attack out. Well, I mean, Presumably we're going to lure an attack out. I'll rest something. I can drop this next turn, so that'll be fantastic. Ace, okay. Yeah, so he's going to swing finally. We'll just rest one of these. Do I block that with everything I've got? 2 brings us up to 10, 11, 12. I mean, we could. I'm gonna let that go. Because this turn we're gonna get a blocker in, and like I'm gonna drop this. We'll get a blocker in. Yeah, so we go here. I'm gonna swing on this here because I want to get rid of some of his stuff on the board. Maybe he burns, yeah, 2k. Ideal situation for us. And then I'll go ahead and we'll go here again, see if we can get some more stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, him defending that, like, we'll just see. We'll see. Because he has to remove this now. So yeah, we go here. Definitely gonna take that. Nice. I'll take... Oh man, I think we had him cooked, guys. He didn't have any way to remove this, yeah. Well, I mean, that's Enel in a nutshell, guys. So yeah, I mean, he tried to bleed us out, or he tried to starve us out. And, I mean, you draw Zoro and you get Zoro down and Enel is cooked. He had nothing there. He had, look at that hand. He dropped, I mean, he discarded a Raigo early on too, which I knew as soon as he did that we were going to be in a good place with these. I mean, yeah, guys, that's my Enel strat right now is if they starve you out, you have to swing into them. And if they don't starve you out, like if they're attacking you, you can starve them in response because eventually they'll play a Raigo and then it'll bring them down to 3 and whatever they Raigo out of there, I mean, from there you are just swinging heavy. So yeah, guys, that's Enel. That was a fast one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, we're back in it with Enel. I really wish we would have caught the last game, but I wasn't filming, or it stopped filming halfway through. But I decimated a Bonney, and it was very satisfying, very satisfying. I guess we'll keep this. We'll see what happens. I might be able to do something with, that's what I was hoping. We get a search off quickly. Okay. So we got Flampe here, so he's, oh, he just took his life. Cool. Alright. Let's dig up a... another one of her, because we've already got one of those. I guess I could take a 2k. I'd rather have another search, just because yeah, I'd much rather have another search just because they're probably going to attack this one while she will. And yeah, cool. And I'm gonna take that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, a lot of this is good. A lot of this is looking kind of good. So what do we do here? Swing. We search, swing. Get rid of her. Get another search off. I don't. We'll grab him. Oh, right. We're not grabbing Don Kid. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we grab him. And the turn. Let's see. Hopefully he plays like a 4-drop or something. I'm gonna take this. Gidatsu's what, a 5? Yeah, so Gidatsu's that out. Okay, so I can't rest her, unfortunately. So, now, we gotta get this guy down. We're at 6. I guess I could get this guy down and swing kind of heavily. That's the move. That's the move. Yeah, we'll do this because then we can start generating Dawn. Give him a card here. Some trigger. Cool. Cool. Yeah, we're good there for now. Now if he's smart, he would just load this guy up. Do a double swing. Make me rest one of them. But we'll see. 1, 2. And run. No, we're not going to take a double swing right now. That sounds preposterous. So we're at 8 Dawn next turn. So I can rest this one. I can kill this one. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm actually kind of okay with the situation right now, guys. So we take this one. Cool. Do we Ryuma? Oh, this is a rush. We gotta take that, unfortunately. Another 2k, that's fine. Okay, so he's what, a 6 right now? So we can Ryuma him. I got 4. So I could Ryuma this guy. I can swing on him heavily. I can swing on him fairly heavily. So let's do that. We'll Ryuma this bad boy. And we'll go what, 8? 8 here. Oh, I did that backwards. Here, this is how we'll do it. We'll do this, we'll get a card out of his hand. Presumably we get something out of his hand. I mean, there's no way he just lets this go. Okay. I guess I'm gonna search then, honestly. Because he's just gonna rebuild this guy, and I'm at 10 next turn, so I could... Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna search, because maybe we can drum something up that... Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Well, that's another 1k at least. I'll take him, he's a 2k. I'm actually going to attack on him just because it might. I don't know, draw out a card or something like that. Cool, yeah. Because next turn, depending on what's left on the board, we might be able to go for something because we've got Hody. Honestly, if he attacks, we survive this turn, I freeze, and then the turn after, we use Hody this, and just go nuts. I kind of think that's the move. The problem is this is a great card for this matchup, but like getting it down right now is difficult, very difficult. Counter out of that. Yeah, you can have that, that's fine. So what's he drop? Another ace, or another Enel. Okay. And we have to take this one. Okay. Man, we needed you earlier, friend. So what do we do here? We drop the 10 drop, and then swing a bunch of times on his life. Let's do that. Let's see what happens here. Alright. 10 drop, freeze, freeze, freeze. Swing, get our 2 back. Takes it, that's fine. Okay. Let me swing again. Cool. Yeah, see, I just want to burn cards out of his hand now, because this turn, you know, these are all frozen. So I have a big attack here. I have 2 more attacks. I have Hody. I've got my leader. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens here. Because if he has another Enel, obviously we're kind of in trouble because, well, nah, you can't stack enough on there. I mean, who knows? You just never know. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's... Okay, so he's got another Enel, so he's probably going to go for one of these. 10. I gotta protect it. Do I have enough? No, I do not. It's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Because I've got exactly enough to not cover it. Okay, well, that's that. Takes that life. Okay, so, do we get him here? Because we can go 3. So I can go 9, I can go 10. I can go 5. So what do we do, go 7? Let's go 7. Life lottery here, because honestly I should have not put that one on him. Okay, cool. So now we can go 7 again. And I think I can get him with Hody, we'll see. Or should we go... Yeah, I need to do it this way, unfortunately. We'll see if this works. Okay. So now we've got, what, 8? He needs 2 here. Yeah, we gotta go Hody. And we swing. Does he get a... Oh ho ho, man. GG. Lucky, lucky. I can't believe he got that. Unfortunate, guys. That's the life lottery right there. So, I mean, you guys saw it. It's that's the game. That's how you play. That's an L for you. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. 3 rush aces. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm happy with how this deck performed. That was actually very close with an L.